people know, if you're using a traditional camera, if you want to take photos on it, or at least if you want to take more than one or two, you need to have a memory card in there, so a little SD card normally. With a phone or tablet, it's exactly the same. So in fact, phone and tablets are better because they tend to have more inbuilt storage compared to normal cameras. So you normally can get away with taking a few photos or videos without needing any extra storage, but quite often, sooner or later, people find they need that little bit more. So again, the more modern the phone, quite often the more storage it will come with inbuilt, but unfortunately things that you put on there like apps and just even the phone's running system or the tablet's system for it to run takes up a lot of that internal space. So because of that, like I say, every now and again you may need the option of expanding the memory of that device, or you may need to tackle the reason the device is full in the first place. It's what I see time and time again, especially when I'm running community workshops, or if we're doing mobile phone photography workshops and people have been encouraged to bring their own phones. They pull the phone out, go to take a photo, they take one photo or maybe two, and then all of a sudden it's flashing at them saying that the memory's full. So one of the first things to do is just to have a look at your settings, have a look at the phone settings, the storage settings, the camera settings, get to know them, and then decide whether or not you need to expand the memory or do something else just to make sure that you have the space so that you can use it. Now, with most phones and other devices compared to traditional cameras, instead of an SD card, you use a micro or a nano SD. So it's exactly the same thing, it's just teeny tiny because these are smaller than big traditional cameras. But otherwise, you just pop them in, and then if you go into your device's settings, its storage settings, you may need to tell it to store all photos and videos to the SD card rather than the internal memory. Now, the only thing is every single phone, every single make and model is different. So I can't tell you exactly how to do that, but if you just have a look and get used to them. But equally, if there's anything that you can't find or you're struggling with, if you go onto Google or a similar search engine and type in the make and model of your phone followed by the thing that you're looking for, you'll find loads of videos showing you exactly how to access it. On mine, if I want to look at the phone's settings in general, so things like my storage settings, I would swipe down from the top, I press the little cog icon, and then it will bring up all the settings. So I'm going to scroll through until I find the ones that say storage, memory, and things like that. So with mine, it's under device care. I'm going to click on that, and then it's going to, too bright in here, it's going to tell me roughly how my phone's doing. So it's not doing too bad, but it's giving me the option to automatically optimize my storage if I want to. So that's what it's doing now. There we go. So that's just closing any things that are running in the background that don't need to be, or any old files that aren't doing anything. So it's not going to delete content that you need, but it's just closing things or copies of things and getting rid of them. If I want to go into more depth with this, so for example with the storage, I can click and hold on there, and then it will bring it up and it will show me what's taking up all my storage. So for me, the thing that's taking up the most storage is images. Surprise, surprise. So I could click on there, and then I could scroll through and delete any that I don't need. Quite often the thing that takes up all the space is apps. The reason mine isn't is because this is my old phone. I just use it for film and photography now, so there's very few apps on this. But if I click on there, it will bring up the apps that I have, and then again I could click and delete any that I'm not using or that are taking up space that I don't need. So it's definitely worth just having an explore of your phone and having a little look at that. The other thing to check out is your camera settings. So if I go into my camera, which I've hidden because I've got a shortcut on mine, so do that instead. So if I put it on camera, and then again I can press the cog to find the settings, and then it's bringing up all my camera settings. So it's things like how big I want the photos to be saved at, what quality do I want the video to be recorded at. So it's again worth going through there and just having a look and getting to know what they all do and what they're for. Like I mentioned before, if you decide to insert some extra storage, some extra memory into it, you might need to then go through your phone settings or your tablet settings and instruct it to save media such as songs or photos or video to that rather than the phone's inbuilt memory. The other thing you can do, if you find that your apps are taking up all your storage space and you are using all the apps regularly, you don't want to delete them, there's another app you can download called, or a whole range of them, and you'll find them if you search for apps to SD in whatever your Play Store, your App Store is. So if I click on apps to SD, what that will do is it will bring up all the apps on my phone, and then it will give me the option of moving them from the phone's memory to the card memory, which again will just free up huge amounts of the phone's own storage space, which means that I'll be able to save things to the phone if I want to. It just gives me a bit more extra storage, but equally it normally means that it will speed your device up. So I don't know if any of you ever find that your device is just lagging a bit, it's being really slow and sluggish, and quite often that is if your phone's memory is full or getting near full, or it's got loads of apps and things running on it, it can really slow it down. Whereas if you can free up some of that space, it should just make everything work, quicker and faster and just be a nicer machine to use. So again, that's another thing worth having a little look into, but it's in the handout, the details, if you want to refer back to that later. If you want to get your footage off of your device and onto a computer, either to edit it or to store it, there's a few different ways you can go about it. One of the ways is if you've added extra storage to your device and then you've set it so that all your photos and videos are saved to that storage, then sometimes you can just take the storage out and put it into your computer, and it's a really quick way of getting the footage off of there. Because phone and tablet storage is normally teeny tiny, you might need a little adapter for it to fit into your computer or laptop, but these, again, you're talking £1 or £2, or quite often they come free when you buy the can't get it back out now, when you buy the small storage. So if you've been given one of these, keep hold of it, don't lose it. The other way you can get the footage off of your phone or device onto your computer or tablet is by using a cable. So normally the cable that you use for charging, you'll be able to connect the two pieces of kit and they should be able to talk to each other. Quite often you need to download an app onto your tablet or computer, but your phone will normally tell you what that is, what you need to have that access. So again, it's worth looking into, or if you're not sure, Google your phone's make and model, and then followed by words like getting videos off a phone onto a computer, and it should tell you what it is you need. One of the really easy and popular ways is by using cloud storage. So with cloud storage, there's a whole host of different ones you can use, and again I've put them in the handout. It means it can either manually, or you can set it to automatically upload any footage or pictures that you take on your phone to cloud storage, where you can then either keep it in the cloud forever, or you can take it out of the cloud, so offline, and save it on your computer, so that it's safe. It's a really good way of backing up your content. So for example, if your computer or phone or tablet either got broken or got stolen, if everything has been saved to cloud storage, then you've got a backup and you haven't lost everything. The downside is if you are using 4G or 5G, it's going to take up quite a lot of your allowance. It's going to take up a lot of data uploading stuff. So normally you would only want to do it over Wi-Fi. The other thing as well, especially with video footage, it's going to take way longer for a video to upload to cloud storage and sync on there than it is if you take the card out or plug your device directly into your computer. but especially if you've got set it to do it automatically, it can be really, really useful. And to be honest, I normally use cloud storage more than plugging things in directly, because I can just leave it running in the background. So again, it's another good thing just to know about and have in the back of your mind, especially if you want to be able to get stuff off your phone, either for storage reasons or, you know, to free up space on your device, or because you need to work with that footage onto your computer for whatever reason.